Let me start with something that gave me a fundamental insight into the mechanics of real change. I used to run an embroidery business that failed. All I had left was one small machine. I started using it at the public library. A woman noticed the effort and offered me a small cottage for $50 a week through her nonprofit. That's how I got back on my feet. My point is this: when effort is visible and the cause is real, people help. And this insight became the basis of a plan called the Dignity Engine. So, what is the Dignity Engine? It is a new approach to fixing the system by restoring human connection and creating equal economic opportunities for people. It doesn't assume that people don't change and therefore have to be regulated. So here's my plan. We rent a space and install an embroidery machine. We bring together a team of 10 people. I already know the skill, so I teach them. Until they are trained, we produce products together and sell them together. Whatever is made each day is divided among the team. The team decides roles and shares profits. Access to the machines is conditional. If someone doesn't show up or cannot work with others, the team can vote them out. And if a whole team cannot work things out, the opportunity moves to the next team in line. That same principle applies to power and leadership. My role in this project is not permanent. No role here is. If I don't perform, I can be voted out by the people we serve. The reason is simple. If I'm asking for donations on poor people's behalf, they should have a say in how that money is spent. So why would people support this? Because when an unhoused person sells something they made themselves and the money goes directly into their pocket, people support it because effort is visible and can be verified. Why do I believe teamwork will work? I have seen firsthand how ownership changes behavior. I'll give you my own example. At one point, I had no choice but to take a truck wash job. 72 hours a week, $2,000 a month. There were four other men ages 50 to 70. We lived at the workplace sharing two rooms. Sundays were optional and commission based. 40% for us, 60% for the owner. I rarely worked Sundays, but when we did, we worked harder than any other day. We held each other accountable. We pushed each other to maximize output and profits. When people have freedom and ownership, they work harder and put the team first. Later, one of those men had a heart attack. He had no family. I took care of him for a month and helped him find another job. Later, while chasing this dream project, I ran out of money. I called the same man I had known for less than 6 months. He gave me his debit card, and I spent $1,700 on it. That's just one example, but it proves something. Most people do return kindness in one way or another, because most people are decent. So how does this restore human connection? This is where the Dignity Engine is different from most programs. I don't think the real disconnection is between people. I think it is between us and our inner child. I learned to shut myself down early in life, to keep things inside instead of dealing with them. By my late 30s, I hit rock bottom and lost almost everything. That's when I realized the truth. I had spent my life silencing my inner child instead of listening to him. One night, I talked to someone I barely knew about childhood wounds. I was the one who got emotional. But something meaningful happened. No judgment, no fixing, no advice, just acceptance. I didn't feel weak. I didn't feel broken. I felt seen. That's when I finally connected with my inner child instead of shutting him down. Knowing yourself is a process. It gets easier when you face what you are carrying through deep connection. When you know yourself at that level, you are no longer controlled by your emotions. You understand them. You take responsibility for them. You give meaning to your suffering, and that meaning becomes your purpose. And once you have purpose, you can transform your suffering into something meaningful. That's what qualifies me for this work. Most people living on the streets are carrying childhood wounds they have held for decades. Addiction is usually a symptom, not the root cause. What I'm good at is sitting with people in discomfort without reacting. I don't judge, I don't fix, I don't control. I absorb the pain and turn it into something meaningful. And that's what the Dignity Engine is. It is a space with no judgment and no pressure. Connection isn't forced, because forced connection doesn't last. Purpose alone is not enough. It has to move in the right direction. That's why, when someone finds what they are meant to do, the Dignity Engine gives them real ways to act on it. And when people do what they are meant to do, they are happier. And when people are happier, communities are safer, especially for kids. This effort is just the first step towards fixing a much bigger system. You can find the full plan and vision in the attached documents. We are not a nonprofit yet. We don't have a fiscal sponsor. This idea doesn't fit into existing boxes, so we are exploring other structures. We already have access to an embroidery machine through the 418 project to prove this works. All we need now is $4,000 for a computer, software, and supplies to take the first step. People can also help by lending machines, space, tools, or time, not just money. If this works with unhoused people, scaling is the easy part, no matter how hard it looks on paper, because this model depends on human behavior, not layers of control and paperwork. David Brooks once said, culture changes when a small group of people find a better way to live and the rest copy them. And that's what this is. We are trying a better way to live and letting it speak for itself. The minimum donation is $5, so more people can take part, even in a small way. Big changes don't start with big gestures. They start when enough people show up, just a little, and see what happens next. And that's all this is, a first step